Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to show you how to create a Snowflake store procedure using binding variables. This is the 8th video from Snowflake stored procedures. What is the binding variables? Binding a variable to a SQL statement allows you to use the value of the variable in the statement. Suppose if you have a SQL statement and if you want to pass the value in the runtime, you can bind that value to your SQL statement. Your SQL statement could be a DDL statement or DML statement or SQL query statement. You can also bind null as well as non-null values. The data type of variable should be appropriate for the use of the value in the SQL statement. Currently in Snowflake, only JavaScript variables of type number, that means here float, string or sfdate can be bound. That means if you want to use the bind variables, so the bind variables data type should be a number, that means internally float. As you know that Snowflake will not allows as the input parameter as number. Instead of that, you have to use the float. And string and sfdate. Sfdate is nothing but a date format. There is a difference between Snowflake date format and JavaScript. So JavaScript variable, date variable. So we have how to use the sfdate while binding variable in Snowflake stored procedure. Why should you use binding variables? Stored procedures can dynamically create a SQL statement and execute it. That means while creating the dynamic, you can pass that value as part of your SQL statement. However, this can allow the SQL injection attacks. I will show you the example. What is the SQL injection attacks through procedure? Particularly if you create a SQL statement using the input from a public or untrusted source. When you get the SQL injection attacks, if you input from a public or untrusted source, it could be from one of the website or something like. So you can minimize the risk of SQL injection attacks by binding parameters rather than using the concatenate text or concatenate. Okay, that is called the dynamical. If you see, for example, here statement, this is my statement, select star from DEPT where DEPT number equal to, I am using the P underscore DEPT number as the variable concatenating to my SQL statement. So when you pass this value, actual value to this variable through procedure, select star from DEPT where DEPT number is equal to 10, along with you can pass any other string. Here other string is the R1 equal to 1. That means this query returns the department details 10 and also all other data from this table. That is where SQL injection attacks occur. Let's see in action. Here I am going to use the database dev schema HR role account admin. Select all the 3 statements and click run. Here it will ask, do you want to run the following queries? Press run. Before going to, so in the example, let me truncate the data from the table. Okay, truncate the table, and here I am going to insert the 3 rows, 3 departments, 10, 20, 30. Okay, so this is the data have been inserted. Now what I am going to do, we will create one procedure dynamically. So proc underscore dynamic underscore SQL underscore injection. Here we are passing the parameter, here we are using the parameter P underscore DEPT number. Please note that I am using as a string. Okay, string as the data type for this one, even though table level I defined the department number as a data type, I mean data type as number. So to why I have chosen string to show you the SQL injection attack. So what I am going to do with this procedure here, I have defined, see, create or replace procedure, procedure name with parameter, return string, this is the mandatory, and also Java string, language as the JavaScript. As after that you can start with the double quote, inside the double quote you can write your actual code. So here this is the where three variables I defined, and another value is the return to return the value written by that query. Okay, and also here SQL command, this is the SQL command which I shown you from the presentation. So select star from DEPT where DEPT number equal to P, and this is the my variable. Please note that whatever that variable as part of procedure, you have to use the uppercase. Okay, and this is the RS, I mean Snowflake that create statement. From the Snowflake we have a method called create statement. What it will take, it will take the in SQL text as the SQL command dot execute. So SQL text, what is the SQL text? This is the dynamically created statement. And here I am, this, the moment when you run this one, it will returns the output to this result set. This result set is nothing but a cursor. In other language we can call it the cursor. So while rs.next, okay, if you have a more than one row, then we can use the while, otherwise you can just rs.next. if you are sure, I mean this query which you are going to execute, that query returns only one record, then no need to use the while command. So where v underscore debit number, how we are going to retrieve the values, because in the department table we have a three columns: department number, department name, and location. So by using the result set, we have a method called the get column value. So this get, by using the get column value, I mean the first parameter, first value, if you, the index will start from the 1, that means you can retrieve the first column from the query result. Okay, first column. So here this star means three columns will return. So the three columns 1 and 2, 3, like that. So department number, department, I mean D name and location. And here I am concatenating all the result in a one line with each line separated by the new line carriage return. I will show you the what is this one, how it will looks data, and finally return the data. This is the my procedure. Let me compile this procedure. Okay, procedure has been, if you see, function proc underscore dynamic underscore SQL injection successfully created. Now what I am going to do, let me display the data with the department 10 details only. So here I am passing the 10. So why I have used the string, because I defined the department name parameter as the string data type. So let me execute this procedure. To execute this procedure, you have to use the call statement, call. So here if you click here, this is the my expected output. It's fine, but however you can pass the another variable with the department value 10 or 1 is equal to 1. Now let me see the, when you pass this value, okay, to your SQL statement as part of the dynamical statement. So here if you see output, instead of one row department 10, now I can see department 20 and 30, all three records, means where 1 equal to 1 means it will returns the, it is a true condition, so it will returns all the records, because our condition we used that the department number is equal to 10 or 1 equal to 1, that means it returns the all records. This is the SQL injection attack. Okay, so here I explained simple example, but in real time, people can, I mean if unknown people knows about your table names, they can use the drop command also. Drop command, so they can pass. Okay, these kind of things will happen when you use the dynamic SQL with the procedures. So to overcome this issue, what we are going to do, we have to use the bind variable. So here This is the example, create or replace procedure, proc underscore binding variable example. Here I am taking the department number string, okay, and returns string language as the JavaScript as dollar dollar. Now same only, but here instead of using that plus concatenation, okay, here I am using the question mark. Question mark is nothing but a binding, okay, variable. So how we are going to bind as part of the snowflake.create statement method? Here we have to pass the SQL command, and also you have to use the comma binds colon, and the variables which are going to use that variables you have to put in the inside array. So this is the syntax, this is the standard syntax. Here I am using the one bind variable, that's why I am using that one bind variable which is passing from the input parameter to from this procedure. So dot execute. So now that is okay, how you are going to use the binding variable to your SQL statement. Now rest of the thing, everything is same, there is no difference how I created in the previous, okay, similar way. Now let me compile this one. After compiling this one, I am going to run this with the same examples which I, okay, with the, but procedure is different. This is the okay, binding variable. Here output, in the first case output is the same, and second case what I am going to do, I will let me pass the similar way, department number is equal to 10 or 1 is equal to 1. Then what will be happening? Here you see execution error in stored procedure, proc underscore binding underscore variable example, numeric value 10 or 1 equal to 1 is not recognized at a statement execute. Why this one? Because we are binding our variable to a statement with the, here, yeah, binds department number. See, the department number is the number, this is the number format, but you pass the as a text, so that the data type mismatch has been occurred. So that is the where you throw the exception. So by using the bind variable, you can avoid the SQL injection attack. Okay, now let me show you the another example. In this example, what I am going to do, I am going to insert the new record into department table. So proc underscore binding variable example 2, here I am passing the 3 variables. So why I used the float here, in JavaScript, if you use the number data type, this number data type is there in the Snowflake, but when you use the inside the JavaScript procedure, then the compile, you will get the compile. Let me show you that one. So what simply I am doing here, I am preparing the insert statement, insert into DEPT with 3 columns, values. Here I am using the 3 bind variables. See, in SQL, in Snowflake, you can use colon 1 2 3 like that, colon numbers or question mark. If you have a multiple bind variables, then you will keep the question marks, then you have to count the number of bind variables and while passing the actual values. To avoid that confusion, to overcome that one, you can use the digits, so that by seeing the number you can know how many bind variables are going to use as part of your SQL statement. Here I am using the 3 bind variables. So this is the insert statement. Let me compile with the parameter dbt number data type as the number. Okay. So ideally we should, see, language JavaScript doesn't support the number for an argument or a return type. That means you cannot use the number. Instead of that, what you can do, you can use the float data type. Okay, float. So now let me compile this one. Okay, function proc underscore binding variable example 2 successfully created. Okay, now let me execute this procedure. So executing, we have to pass the another department details. Here I am passing the department number 10 and education department name, and location is the Singapore. So let me execute this one. Okay, with that, see, once procedure successfully completed, then we will see success. That means one row has been inserted into department table. Now earlier we have a 3 records. After inserting this new record by using the procedure, now we have a total 4 rows into this is the which we have inserted into department table by using the bind variable from Snowflake stored procedure. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and don't forget to click on bell icon for the notifications. Please share it and like it. Thank you once again for watching my video.